trade in a natural environment that is very different from our own. On a map of Asia, we can see that the Malay is a long strip of land that extends southward almost to the equator. Lying between the Indian Ocean and the China Sea, the peninsula is in the path of trade between Asia and the Western world. Center of this trade is Singapore, one of the most important cities of the Far East. Singapore's great harbor is filled with boats of every description. A steady stream of water traffic carries products to and from Singapore's docks. Products of Malaya, as well as products of nearby islands, are sent from this distribution point to all parts of the world. Singapore is a mixture of East and West, with a large Chinese population. Developed as a British nation, it looks in many ways like a European city. Lining the busy streets are imposing buildings that resemble those of London. And on the streets themselves, modern vehicles move side by side with the carts and jinrickshaws of the East. Other cities of Malaya, such as Kuala Lumpur and Malacca, show this same mixture of the European or Western civilization and the native or Eastern civilization. Contrast is found also in the many different kinds of temples and churches in this land, where Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists, and Christians live side by side. Most cities and villages of Malaya are near the water, either on the sea or on the rivers, which are the best highways in the peninsula. This fact is important to the native life. Just as in any land, the way in which people live is closely related to the natural environment in which they live. The Malays use boats to travel from village to village. In the smaller villages, life is simple. Much of the work is done by hand with primitive tools. Native crafts, such as pottery making, provide necessary articles for daily living. One of the most important native crafts is batik printing. Brightly colored batik dyes are printed on cloth by means of wooden blocks. Batik prints are known throughout the world. But there are far more valuable products that come from Malaya. The land is rich in natural resources. This natural wealth attracted Europeans who introduced modern methods to develop Malaya's riches. One of those riches is tin. These buckets are dredging clay that contains the valuable tin ore. Tin ore is also obtained by the open cast method. In this process, the mineral-bearing gravel is washed by powerful streams of water into sluice boxes. Native workers collect the nuggets of tin ore by panning. After drying, the tin ore is put into bags. Then it is sent to the smelting works, where it is refined into bars of pure tin. An important agricultural product of the Malay Peninsula is coconuts. From the tall trees, the ripe brown nuts are harvested throughout the year. Streams and canals are used to carry the nuts. In their light outer husks, the coconuts float easily and are handled in great rafts. Working under the hot equatorial sun, men and boys sort the nuts for husking. The outer husk is ripped off with great skill by splitting it on a spearhead. It is the inner meat of the nut which is important. This white meat, when dried in the sun, becomes copra, and from copra come the various oils which are used in making soap. From another kind of tree on the Malay Peninsula comes another product, rubber. Like coconut palms, rubber trees are grown on large plantations. By cutting the bark of the rubber tree, the sap, or latex, is made to flow. This white, sticky sap is liquid rubber. Every drop of the valuable latex is carefully collected. At factory, the latex is processed into crude rubber. In this form, it is sent from Malaya to us to be made into the rubber tires, tubes, hose, and other articles which are so important to our modern industrial world. One important product which is not exported is rice. Primitive wooden plows, drawn by water buffalo, are still used to cultivate the wet, warm earth. The rice plant, which requires wet ground and plenty of sun, thrives in the moist, hot climate of Malaya. The young shoots are planted 2 or 3 together. In 6 months, the rice is ripe and ready for harvesting. Rice is to the Malays as wheat is to us. Harvest time in Malaya is in February. The ripe grain is cut by means of a curious little hand knife. Notice how this man cuts each head of rice separately. After harvesting, the grain is threshed. Here, in one of the most ancient methods of threshing known, we see how the rice kernels are separated from the straw. By winnowing the grain, the smaller bits of chaff and straw are blown away by the wind, and the rice kernels are collected on a mat. One of the newer industries of the Malay Peninsula is the production of tea. Here again, much hand labor is required in cultivating the plants and picking the tea leaves. After the leaves are picked, they are dried. At the tea factory, Malay girls wrap and seal this product for shipment to our tables. To obtain the valuable products that we have seen, such as tea, copra, rubber, and tin, Europeans brought to Malaya not only modern methods, but something of their own way of life. For example, the British established schools for children of plantation workers. This school is for children 7 to 14 years old. Of course, their textbooks may not look exactly like ours, but they study many of the things we do. Their games and recreation are much the same that children enjoy anywhere in the world. In the secondary schools, English is an important subject, as well as other courses similar to those taught in our own high schools. Here, students learn about us, just as we are learning about them. And after school, yes, it's basketball. Malay girls playing an American game are a kind of symbol of Malaya, a mixture of East and West, old and new. We have seen that the land is a hot, wet region, bordered on 3 sides by the sea and crossed by many rivers. Water travel is very convenient, and boats are a favorite method of transportation between villages and cities. Most of the cities, such as Singapore, are the centers of a teeming life that represents both East and West. The cities are also distribution points for valuable products of Malaya, products such as tin, rubber, copra, and tea. We have watched Malay workers using primitive methods of production and modern methods of production. We have also seen that native ways of life are continually being influenced by Western ideas and education. And so we have become acquainted with some of the products, the places, and the people of the Malay Peninsula.